You're listening to the Freebuilders Podcast. I'm your host, the Sizzler. Today we'll be talking about the map reset, the 1.9 release, our future plans, and we'll have a member conversation with Japdragon04. Hi, I'm Sizzler, and with me today are Cyanide and G Harmonica. This is the Freebuilders Podcast. We'll start today by reflecting on some of the history of the 1.0 map. 1.8, it was beautiful. How about those zombie pigmen attacks? I mean, at one point I ended up creating a memorial with all their golden swords that I'd killed off. And as people say, normally, I'm always in armour. And there's only been two particular occasions, and that's when we just had the finishing photo then, and when those zombie pigmen got me in the nether. It was one of the only times that I really have got killed in the game. My old achievements showed it that I wasn't killed by anything other than zombie pigmen. There's just a horde of 20 of them running at you, baying for your blood. And it's the sheer luck that they can't climb a half slab for a sudden second.
I remember you half slabbed the nether after that.
Yes.
You wanted to make sure that never happened again.
Never happened again. And just, the thing is, people were putting in massive gaping holes that then lead down. So you kind of have to section it off. So the path through the nether is just totally separate from the nether itself. But it's great that now in 1.9, we won't have to have the slabs over. And so we'll be able to have decent railways. I think we'll have both directions. And not have slabs on top, so we'll be able to have buttons and switching stations and actual junctions with our railway system.
I mean, now that you've had the chance to kind of design it once, the second time is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think the second time it's going to go much quicker, and we're going to have quite a larger design.
Let's kind of review some of the big cities on the map from version 1.0 of Freebuilders. I mean, what do we had? We had Las Islas. We had Cradle. We had Lutetia. What else do we have?
Arcana,
yeah.
Yeah. We had the Atrium.
Atrium, yep. That was the one by Load.
Southern Isle. Yeah. There was some really good cities.
Sizzler, do you want to talk about any of the history of some of those places and just kind of reminisce a little bit about them? I mean, what has the biggest place in your heart from the 1.8 map?
Well, there's not actually a question on that, and that's Las Islas. I was just playing on the map one day, and a new player came along, and, I got chatting, and, I thought I'd help other players out with goods, and took over a whole set of saplings for him. Got him building with the trees, and left him to it. Later helped him build a nether portal, and he made Las Islas. This was Run Kenny Run, along with a lot of other people. It was actually a real testament to an idea of a design on the server. He knew exactly what he was looking for and had a real driving idea, and that was great.
What I really liked about it was it kind of epitomized a Freebuilders build, not conforming to what other people thought, knowing that you're going to have the build there for months, and you can build just whatever style you want, however you want. I think it was a big part of what motivated me to come up with the logo that we had with the shield and sword.
Well, how about that? I mean, we've had a logo with a shield in it since forever, and it's finally added to the game. The game's caught up to our designs.
Says something about our vision, huh?
Yeah, we knew it, man. But whilst you said people were free to build, not 100% in Las Islas. That was kind of one of the plans. They are free to build whatever, wherever, but they were free to actually come together and understand that this was going to be a city. And so a city-style build as... I'm just watching you restart the server and just freaking out for a second. Then I was like, hang on a minute. Yeah, people are able to come
I
together.
knew that. I knew that was what the pause was for. But it has to be done. Yeah, this is what happens early on. I mean, there's a lot of issues with any update, really, but especially one of the major point updates in Minecraft. What happens is a lot of the plugins kind of lose their compatibility. It takes a little while for development to get back up to the scale it was before. And the main thing really is that the server backend, which is called Spigot, it takes a while to be optimized. So, there's stuff that has to be done on that end, and that's what I was just doing there.
Yeah.
Well, I think the server is really working good for
I was putting it on a week, but they've got better at it, to be honest.
Yeah. In 1.8, it took about a month for the server software to be released, because there was a whole thing with Bucket back then. I don't know if you remember, Sizzler.
It's still going. It always will. The guy shut it down. His code was in it. Wasn't happy with that. That's the end of that. And that's why more code needs to be fully open source to begin with and stay that way. So the Lord Drac confrontation happened really quickly, and basically someone just put up a threat about Las Islas. And, I think it had been coming, because if a city takes too many people on the server, there's nothing else to the server. So you always have to have a city with, say, a few people in it, but still plenty of people doing other things around the server also.
Sure, that keeps life going on the server, keeps things interesting.
Yeah, keeps variety. And I think someone was a bit annoyed about this, so they created a Lord Drac character who declared war on Las Islas, I believe. And because Las Islas had so much energy at the time, everyone went into overdrive, creating these quite dramatic and large defences. Big guns and arrows and bits all pointing across the bridge saying, come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. And obviously Lord Drac was a bit of an invented character who was never actually going to turn up and go, all right, I'm here to fight. And so it kind of petered out with the actual person thoroughly apologising, because they realised they'd kind of got this kind of energised group wound up.
Yeah, it was an anxious couple days on the server. I did enjoy watching from the sides, I will say.
Oh, I'd have willingly turned up for the fight, just to give a kicking to somebody.
This is why we get our new PvP maps in place. I'm really excited for that. I like the idea.
We don't usually have PvP events anymore, so
Matt can kind of tell you a little bit about his idea. He wants to have like a little bit of a mini games world, but with a focus on PvP and like teams and that sort of stuff on old maps. So, for example, on the cities on the server, like Las Islas as an arena to do the fight.
Yeah, there's a few of them that we could definitely use, because part of my mind is move as many big builds over, but if we find a realistic use, so say we have the 5 big cities that we used to have on the old map, we could even put a piecemeal one together of everyone else's builds that they wanted to move across, and instead of moving them across, we can actually turn that into part of a PvP map. I think that would make a much better use of the builds. It creates a unique map that no one else has ever got, and gives Freebuilders a bit of a unique selling point, which is always good, and it gives us a chance to still relive our old builds.
I think the response for the challenges has been incredible. We've had some really creative stuff being done.
One of our funniest videos is the Freebuilders Challenge number 39. Big Beats by Breeze108 is a very funny player with that challenge. It just cracked me up. You have to understand that this is one of our finest builders that is just having one of the most silliest moments. Watching this video, you understand how much joy Minecraft can bring in just silly ways, because they're really proud of this build. But it's just the music, the William Tell overture, the classic horse that starts going faster and faster, is classic comedy. And for me, that is...
Did you see Jap's submission for this one, where he did the whole Doctor Who song?
No, I haven't seen that one. I must have missed it. All right, I'll have to go back and look at that.
I remember the one with Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
With the rabbit and the switching seats. It was really funny. It was really clever,
But really, beyond that, I think the challenges have brought the community together, and I think it keeps people logging in week after week.
Now, let's speak about our future plans. All right, so we're agreed that as far as we're concerned, we now have a map. We're going to run ahead with this. We are going to... I don't actually want to transfer stuff to people. I'm not going to lie. I actually want it to stay fresh now. People, once they've had a chance, only the whiners and the really lazy ones will be the ones that are like, yeah. Most people will be like, all right, yeah, new challenge, let's do it. So I don't know.
Well, it's okay. I think you should give them like this much without their buildings. Maybe they will change their minds.
Because do you know how long it'll take both the three of us to do everyone's builds between us?
I'm sure.
When you've got someone each time coming on, and you have to get it just right in the block position that they have it in their mind.
If you had the building on a plain biome, it would be easy, but they still have the old map. They can go there, they can check their buildings, they can look at how beautiful they are, but you don't need to transfer it. Someone said something on the thread on Reddit. Have you ever glued your Legos together? It was really good.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
But you never glue your...
I'm that
your
person.
Legos.
Yes, I did. I am that person. And I know I'm one of the only people that did it, but I did. I made this super massive truck. It had like 100 wheels on it, this thing did. It was supreme, like mega red truck. It was awesome. I was obsessed with Lego as a kid. Because it was so thin, and its design was so like already compromised because I wanted to get the most out of fuck all Lego, I super glued it together. And then one of my friends reversed it in my radiator actually and managed to fracture it, and I was gutted. But yeah, I am that person. I did glue my Legos together. Don't mock me. That's the way I am. So if I can super glue my Legos into this new world, I would. But I don't think we should.
The idea was it was just a method just to keep older people that had really invested a lot of time and effort into the server, just keep them kind of interested and make the transition a little easier. That was my idea behind it.
No, it's more a case of those builds can come over if we do it into a special place. And I think, we look to have old cities at, say, around 2000. So where we'll have a special junction of the nether rail, that could come out into one of the old cities or something like that. So there is possibilities for that. But then you get accused of losing that.
Well, sure, the vanilla feel.
Yeah, the vanilla. Yeah, you're not doing survival when you're at that level. So...
Yeah, as far as future plans go, I think that our next big step is to take advantage of the combat that's available in this update. Dual wielding, having shields, more accurate attacks, that sort of stuff, and kind of use them for the maps we were talking about earlier.
So yeah, I got a drone. How awesome is that? I got it free from my Christmas party, my work's Christmas party. I got given a drone. I was like, made.
Your bonus?
Yeah. Well, I'd only worked there 2 months.
A small one or a real big one with the...
It's a 4-winged one, GPS on it, and it's a pretty serious piece of kit. And I've got the GoPro now for it as well.
So you hooked up the camera to it?
Yeah. It's got a camera that comes with it. It's got a motor so it can go up and down. But the GoPro, it's got Wi-Fi so I can connect it to my phone. I can see what it's seeing while it's up in the air.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then do you also control it with the phone?
That's what I want, but no, it doesn't. It just turns it on and off at the minute, the camera. It needs a motor on the actual for the camera. It's a tricky setup. I'll show you pictures. All right.
Why do they have a drone just sitting around the office? Or did they buy it specifically for you?
No, they bought it. We played Naughty Santa. There's a present for each person. There were 21 people there. There's a present for each person, all wrapped up, no labels, no names. And you all pick a number out of a hat from 1 to 21. And then, first person who gets with number 1, they open a present. And so that's their present. Now, number 2 opens a present, and they get the choice to either steal number one's present or open a new present. And most of the time they steal, so then number one has to open a new present. Third person, and it goes like this. Now, there were tellies, there was electric bikes, massive coffee machines, like every single thing there was worth £300 or more, like up to about £1,500. And that's what we had. Like, he'd spent like well over 10k just in gifts for us for the Christmas party. And I say I'd worked there 2 months, so I was like, yeah, whatever I get, I'm laughing. And it's not a big company, you know, it's less than 50 people big. Anyway, back to Minecraft. Now we're going to talk to our guest, Japdragon04, who's quite happily coming along and chatting to us on Skype at the minute. We're just having a free natter here. We've just been talking about drones and all kinds of random bits, but we think we should get on to some questions for Jap. So we'll start with some word association. I say woo, you say
Who?
good enough. I say juggle, you say
Clowns?
I say free, you say
Builders?
yeah, now we're rocking. I say sword, you say
Minecraft.
yeah. Okay, we got our Minecraft thing going. Jack, how did you find Freebuilders?
8 months ago, well, the only server I played on closed down, and another player found Freebuilders. It was Kiva, and he recommended that I come check it out. So then I started playing here.
Why'd you decide to stay? I guess is the next question that kind of follows that.
I liked the ranks. That was pretty cool. Also, everyone's really nice and helpful. And I liked seeing all the different builds you guys had.
Yeah, I like wondering about the builds.
So many undocumented stories. That's what I like about it. So much stuff that you just don't know, like how did it come about? It's like kind of like a living history, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's the backdrop, these little stories that people come in and, you know, that's what I'm going to miss about changing maps. It'll make a difference to actually have this new, fresh world that create all these new memories on.
Like behind Lutetia, there's this weird giant diamond-shaped thing that I've been trying to figure out what it is for the longest time. It's like a giant diamond floating in the diamond shape, but floating in the air. I guess it was like half completed. I know there's like trees on one level, and then that's about it.
I'm just trying to think. I reckon that's the start of a Star Wars Death Destroyer. You know, the ones that people go for. It's like the massive builds.
Because all of them start with the base of a diamond, right?
No. You know the biggest shit.
Trees on top.
No, you have the trees for
on top.
making stuff. That's while you're building it.
Maybe it was their oxygen farm.
Yeah. Gotta have an oxygen farm. Why did you decide to build Lutetia?
Well, before I started actually playing on servers, I always build like these ancient monuments. And at one point I was starting to recreate Rome, but that world crashed. So my friend finally told me to get on multiplayer. But I still always wanted to build a city, so that's why I started working on Lutetia here.
Was Cradle or any of those motivation for starting?
Yeah, it was definitely nice to see that there are already some cities on there. So
yeah, it's good to actually have brought the map size down, I think. If we actually keep it smaller for a while, and we'll create something quite epic, I think. And to join up and actually have these separate cities, but with big roads and small pubs and bits in between.
in the old map, everyone was all in the south, and I was just like in my little corner in the west.
Yeah, what kind of transportation did you always take the nether route?
Yeah. Also, I was like right there next to the main west line, so it made things easier.
Yeah, I used to go there every time I go hunting wither skeletons, since you're just next to the platform.
See, the west line was the first line that I built the furthest, and that was to the wither farm. Okay, so can you tell us a bit about yourself, Jack? I mean, what's your age? What other hobbies have you got outside of Minecraft?
Yeah, well, I'm 23, and besides Minecraft, I play a few instruments. I play the piano and violin.
It's kind of interesting because since I've come to college, I've actually picked up. I used to play the piano a little bit, but nowhere near the level I'm at now. Like I don't know if you've seen Kyle Laundry. He's a YouTuber, but he does some like insane like anime covers, and also just popular songs like Queen songs and that sort of stuff. Unbelievable covers, and I've been learning the sheet music for those on piano, and I've been really enjoying it.
I've usually been playing like classical stuff and then stuff off Studio Ghibli movies that I watch.
But anyway, other than that stuff, what else do you do?
I bake. Like I like making pastries and cakes and all that stuff. I actually went to school for it as well.
All right, so we've got one more question for you, Jack, and that's what are you most looking forward to in the 1.9 release?
The shields. I'm really excited that we can actually decorate them using the banners we have already. So that'll be a nice addition to all the armor stands I was using. I'm still going to build a city, but what's nice is I'm close enough to spawn that if spawn gets huge, I can be like a neighborhood in spawn. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to keep the same theme.
Thank you for listening to the Freebuilders Podcast. I've been your host, Sizzler. With me today has been Cyanide and G-Harmonica, and our guest has been Japdragon04. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next time, which is probably going to be about 6 months at the same rate we do this. Thank you very much, and good night.